Boom. Welcome back, High Council. Post week 2, kind of week 3 mid already, even though it's Sunday. And we got M. Frisk with us, and we got Matt Paz with us. No B Farrell tonight, no Senor Splash, although maybe B Farrell will make a late appearance.
Yo, yo. You never
What's
give
up?
us room to just say
I
hey.
don't even care. We're
You
trying to
really
move
don't. I
through.
guess
I'm
not.
trying to go.
Alright.
Like, all right,
Just
let's get
silent
Alright.
silent observers, basically.
the meeting
Yeah.
has to stick to the agenda. Goddamn. All right, let's get going. So we have a couple of topics today that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the Daigogetsu trade, the disconnect controversy, and we're gonna hype up myself versus M. Frisk in our long-awaited rivalry match. So
I'm
here we
throwing.
are. What are
I'm
you?
selling.
You're throwing. Bro, I can't have the allegations come and get me. All right, let's talk about Daigogetsu trade first. So we saw in week 1 Daigogetsu kind of get lit up. And was that the game that they lost? I don't remember. Anyway, lots of meatball. Oh
Yes.
no, yeah, they lost to Hanu, and he got absolutely lit up. They lost every game that series, though. Anyway, but Daigogetsu got lit up, many meatballs, and for those that don't know, Penguin Pouch does not use 2-tap, which makes Daigogetsu kind of a bad match. I actually had Daigogetsu and Mileman on my team last year with the Lost City Monarchs, and we didn't use 2-tap, and I also lost on mistake pitches in the playoffs, I believe. Like, a Mileman gave up an extra innings home run, we just lost. A couple other extra meatballs, we lose. Good times. So he says, screw this, I'm done with Daigo, let me get some offers. The offer he went for ended up being Daigogetsu for Red, straight up. I don't even remember where Red got drafted. I think Matt Paz had said it at some point
And
where he got drafted. But
end of round two.
yeah, end of round 2 for a first rounder, basically. Just a straight swap. And they just kind of went with it. And I think a lot of people were kind of shocked. Compass, B. Farrell, a little bit surprised here. Matt Paz was a little surprised. B. Farrell didn't even offer because he thought it was going to be high. I see a single yike. A lot of people are kind of rattled by this trade, I think. We got the long wanted for robbery meme coming in, but then they're trying to flip it.
Yeah, I think there's lots to comment on that trade. I think it's pretty crazy to give up on your first round pick after week 2. He knows he's not going to 2-tap, so he's obviously used Daigo in the past, so it's just crazy that he burned a round 1 pick on someone he knew was tough for him and then just dealt him for peanuts.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in the Discord to show, so I'm gonna flip it to the draft board now, I think. And yeah, looking at the draft order, so Daigogetsu was actually taking the pick after me, Kiba, then Daigogetsu. Then we had, so this is up until, we could go all the way to Red, really, but he had 2 picks, and up until Papillon, let's say then, because he had 2 picks, he could have had one of Tomozawa, Doe, Aoba, Kagami, Samamatsu, Kirigane, Suzukaze, Reibukai, all instead of Red, basically. And they took Papillon over Red, too. So, first, do you have any comments on the trade? Very cool. Thank you for your input.
Seemed stunned silence.
Yeah, I think that like playing like I could say devil's advocate to the common opinion, but I'll say angel's advocate for Penguin Pouch. Like, I think Red is definitely usable and pretty solid and has put in work in these no lock on leagues. I think hitting has been down across the league pretty much. Like, a lot of people are struggling to hit. So really, do I think the trade is that bad? No. And like, Red's actually like a decent DH. I think he has S stamina or A stamina or whatever, and pretty good control, pretty good solid velocity with Iron Ball. So like, do I think Red's that bad? No, and he's probably just gonna be able to click fastball game, and people aren't gonna hit. Believe that he threw a complete game shutout against what's that, Jeff the Boss and the Smooth Jazz in one of these games. So like, already Red has been used by Penguin Pouch and gotten good results. But do I think that Daigogetsu is insanely better? Yes, absolutely. I think with Daigogetsu, as long as you're using 2-tap, that should be like an auto 0 to 1 runs a game. I think Daigogetsu is one of the top players. forget how high I had him rated in my draft board, but as far as like who I had as top pitchers, I had all the original fastball guys and then Daigogetsu. So like Unkai, Myojin, Mileman, Kiba, I definitely had ahead, and then pretty sure Daigogetsu was like my 5th guy right there. So I think Daigogetsu's
Yeah,
gross.
Daigo in the hands of Press Twice is deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted him, but Penguin wanted Kanahara, Roddy, and Kamitaka for Daigo for me.
That was your trade.
I was like,
See, I feel like
yeah.
I had a pretty good offer, and I know Compass had an offer as well. My offer was Daigogetsu, Yakiman 2. So my top 2 pitchers actually, or top 2 or 3, not Kiba, of course. So here's my team. We offered Yamino, Yakiman 2, and Naito with the armor, but I offered for Daigogetsu, Inuki, and what's the last one? Oh, Naito, no armor. So I was trying to upgrade my left field spot while also like sacrificing my pitching a little bit. I'm basically doing like a 2-for-1 pitching trade, I would say, and trying to get a better outfield spot. He's still getting a power bat at first base because he's been playing Naito no armor at first base anyway. So I was like, this kind of works. And I thought it was a pretty good deal, pretty good for both sides, but he ended up going with the red swap. And I think that he already played long, and maybe he's scared to face Daigogetsu in playoffs if in the hands of one of us 2 tappers. I don't know, but he's already played long, and I think Long's like in the middle of the pack right now standings wise, so maybe that's part of it. Not sure what else to say too much. And then again, we were talking about earlier. I think he's been using like Yabimon or some shit at DH. So like maybe Red could play DH for him instead too. But I forget who he was using there. Yeah, I think Yabimon. I think Red's probably a better DH. So at the end of the day, not that terrible, but
I'm surprised he wouldn't try to learn 2-tap before he just gives up such a dominant pitcher there.
And like, I think still Penguin's one of the better players in the league. I think that his team this year is definitely not as strong as his past teams. So that's going to be interesting. But at the same time, we've already talked about this. Schedule-wise, he's already played Zumi, who we did get swept by this year. And then after that, it's pretty smooth sailing the rest of the way. So I still expect him to be in playoffs. We'll see it in playoffs how deep he goes, though. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Daigogetsu trade. We're gonna, I don't want to like review the last week too much, but basically no real surprises, I would say, overall on the week. And then pretty much as we talked about before, in week 2, Zumikaku swept Penguin Pouch. So congrats Zumi on the 1 seed. And other than that, we're just pretty much moving on. Then, all right, next topic. Next up, we have the disconnect controversy. So there we were. Here's the situation. And I asked, it's funny because I asked my wife this question and my wife's sister, so sister-in-law, I guess, as one would say. What would you do in this situation? There you are in the top of the 10th. You score 3 runs. You go to the bottom of the next inning. So now the other team is hitting. They get a couple strikes or whatever, and then they disconnect. What would you do in that situation? The answers I got were the disconnecting team has to forfeit, or the other answer was they'd have to recreate the situation. And like, they don't know baseball that well either. So how come 2 random people can obviously say the obvious situation of, why would they have to give up 3 runs in that situation? I don't understand. First, do you have anything?
Pretty harsh commissioner there. Whoever was trying to have the disconnecting team forfeit.
Oh, well, what can you say? Maybe they.
I think
Go ahead.
I think it comes down to professional or competitive integrity. So, channeling my inner dish, there were words on paper that, in theory, you should follow every word, no exceptions, right? And I think what made it even more interesting is Anthony is one of, I guess, technically an extension of the admin team. Obviously, he didn't say anything about this scenario. I also didn't say anything about this scenario because I felt it weird for me to weigh in a situation where I could benefit for Anthony losing, right?
Definitely.
And so um, it was kind of like it's up to Dish, right, as commissioner, and he, you know, I understand where his headspace was, which is it was in writing. I we have to follow what is in writing, and he went and got a second opinion from USA Baseball, and they agreed, and so that was what took so long. And so, you know, it came down to the gentleman's agreement. You know, John's a good sport. You know, it could have definitely been a different situation, all in all. But I think this is one where, you know, there's now a new rule, and there might be a greater attention to detail on further rules that maybe had not been considered. That possibility to happen, because there was also some very good points brought up around. Well, if this was the rule, if someone puts up 10 on me and whoops, I had a disconnect, like, do we just restart the inning, even if it's the 8th inning, right? Even the way it's written. So,
Yep. Obviously, again, shout outs to Johns for being the big guy right there, taking the high road and saying, yep, here's your 3 runs back, because I think everyone knows in that situation the run should count. But again, I think saying that you have to follow the rules is like fair and all, but whoever did that rule in the first place, I don't think it was just really considered what a disconnect actually happens. And obviously in our leagues we've had a couple disconnects along the way, and it's not rocket science. You remake the situation, and does it suck to remake the situation? Yes, but as far as like what should be done, you clearly should just remake the situation. I don't understand.
you know, we missed this council having the resident lawyer
Oh yeah,
on the
we
call.
needed Splash. We're bringing Splash.
Because there's a golden phrase that could be amended at all the rules and say, all rules subject to change, uh,
Commissioner's
final
discretion. Or
discretion. Yeah, at commissioner's final discretion, and that actually also saves Dish in that moment, right? Because I felt like he felt handcuffed,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I don't.
And
Yeah. And then especially then if USA Baseball says, "Oh yeah, you gotta do this," because that's what your rules say. But I don't know. If I was in Canada, I don't think Canada would have said that. Too bad. All right, I think that's enough to say about that. Again, shout out Johns for sticking with the 3, and shout out Anthony for obviously getting out after you gave him the 3. But glad to see that go through. And just to talk more a little bit about that series, not that we want to talk about it too much. They did update the standings, I believe. So now Anthony P is 8-1, and he does still have the harder part of his schedule up, but still going 8-1 so far is pretty good. But he's been basically showing the Triple P people who's the EPL guy, you know. And then Johns needed that win, definitely. He's got still some tough games coming up, so not looking too good from him. But I still think that Johns record-wise, it's not a reflection of how well he is, or how well he's been playing. Like, I think that he's the type of person where he's most likely of these like bottom Triple P people in our odds side that is likely to steal a game off you, because I think he can hit a little bit.
I also think he has one of the harder schedules because his he plays Zumi.
Oh, his Zoom is his cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor Johns got shafted again. Like, you stick Johns on that even side, and like he's probably in playoffs. That's how I feel watching the game so far. So just unfortunate.
Yeah, the games that really were gonna really determine where he was gonna fit. Not to say his season's over, but I mean it was his series against me, his series against Anthony, and his series against Clutch. Depending on how those go, was really gonna sway the tide. But I think he's gonna have a hard time. You know, he's got Compass, B Farrell, Zumi all in a row. And if he's not careful, he might walk out of there with a couple wins, right?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't even remember who's on his team, to be honest. I just know he has Kimoto. Forget who he has pitching. Oh, there's his team. Kiyomura and Kashida. And he's got Hinoa, Amagi, Yamaguchi. That's his top 3. Really not that bad. Alright, enough about that. That wasn't even on the agenda, but the last thing that we wanted to just talk about was hyping up our matchup. So we're going to get the primetime slot Saturday. Not sure what time yet. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. So as we've kind of seen before, we've myself and M.Frisk have a pretty intense history. I feel like early on I kind of had your number, and then now for whatever reason Frisk decides I'm gonna sandbag versus everybody else, and then when I play iPump I'm gonna bring it out. I don't know where I keep clicking.
I don't know if I decide. I think it's more. You don't do. I mean, I might be giving you the tip, but you don't do anything that like angers me. And I know it sounds weird to say, but
so I should tell you.
Yeah, just add some tilt.
Yeah, because then I lose focus and I start getting mad at the game.
Yeah, so basically I should try to play more like Compass and do lots of hit and runs that make no sense sometimes. And
I mean that's a guaranteed way to get me.
Everything baseball fundamentals out the window. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean this is generally why I don't like to go try hard mode, because it legitimately ruins my weekend. My wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like,
"Why are you such a dick today?"
Yeah, like I don't like that, right? I don't like.
No, I get it.
I don't like I don't like my wife and kids to be like, "Yo, what's your deal?" And I'm like, "Dang, this game's got me so heated that like other people notice." And so if I go into it and I just say, I'm expecting to lose and I'm not going to try hard, then I don't get mad in the end, unless somebody does something to trigger me. So, but yeah, I mean, you don't do anything to upset me. We usually have a fun game. It's usually highly strategic. That's the other thing that I think I quite like. It's not you throwing the same pitch over and over and me not being able to hit it and you just throwing it over and over. Because
that sounds familiar. Did that happen recently?
Yeah, and I got
mad now.
Yeah,
I gotta start planting the seeds.
No, but I mean, those are the little things. But yeah, you don't do any of the little things. Plus, I think, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like there's different players that you just weirdly have a better matchup on for a reason I don't know, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like for me, for whatever reason, whenever I play Slime, like Slime beats me more than I beat him. I would say it's pretty funny. Like Slime just he can get to those balls that like everyone else struggles to get to because his PCI placement's so good that like normally I'm like, yeah, they're not hitting this, and then he'll hit it, and I'm like, what the fuck? But like you'll at the same time like he chases pitchers out of the zone, but I just don't typically pitch like that. So then like he'll struggle against other people. But for me, he just goes off. It's pretty funny.
It's always funny as a neutral observer. You watch Frisk stream against anyone else, and it's pretty like low key, talking up with chat, whatever, however the game's going, and then all of a sudden he plays Pump, and it's just like dinger after dinger after dinger. It's like, what the hell is going on?
I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know what our all-time record is and stuff, but like I want to say like last 10 is probably like close to 5-5. It's pretty nuts.
But I still think in the end you have the edge.
Yeah, all time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I mean, it depends. If we play the same game that we always play, it's going to be a close one. But if you decide to switch it up, or I decide to dramatically switch it up, right? Like, for example, and I'll just give this up because I know Pump already knows it. I specifically, so Pump knows he feels good about being able to place PCI, but for whatever reason, when I challenge you with 2 strikes with a high effort fastball, you never hit it. And then you start getting frustrated because you keep missing it. And it's like just like I'll move it just outside of the
plate, but not on
like extremely a lot of plate. It's more towards the middle than it is the out. And ultimately, I'm just like, all right, if you can hit it, it's yours. Mm-hmm. And I won't throw the same spot over and over. I'll try and mix it up, but you know, that's one of the things, right? But if I decide, you know what, I'm gonna throw corners,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just mash it, then it's, you know, things can get out of control, which they have gone out of control before.
I've kind of said it before, but like I feel like I peaked like early hyper offense league, like a couple weeks in. I was like hitting all those pitches that were over the plate. Like I was just wherever the ball was over the plate, I would hit it, and if it wasn't on the black and like dotting the corner of the zone, like I was just crushing. But I don't know what happened, and I'm trying to get back to that, you know. But I'm definitely
I'll
not
tell you what
there
happened.
anymore.
It's Switch,
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I went back and played just with Deuce teams on PlayStation, you know, for the College World Series on PlayStation, and I felt like I was just like lining up and hitting nukes, and I was just like, man, Switch is so bad. Why is it so bad?
I don't know. I
It
I
just
I hope that when mainline comes out and after this league, like it's just all PlayStation, because going back and forth and stuff like right now is PlayStation. We're kind of taking a break, but it's tough going from one to the other, and like going not going from one to the other, but going from the good one to the bad one is really what it is. It's just tough.
Yeah, I think it's frame rate. Something about the frame rate's different. Like I really notice it when you do two tap,
Yeah.
and then something about there's like it's almost as if the frame rate on the PCI is at a slower rate than the actual game, and so it feels choppy and
Mm.
jerky and glitchy.
Yeah.
Whereas you go play on PlayStation, you feel like you can like smoothly get to anywhere, and the PCI doesn't like jump around.
Yeah.
That's at least how I feel.
Yeah. Even when like you're moving the PCI across to the zone, and even for two tap moving it across the zone, it's like it does not feel smooth at all.
Yeah, when this newest season of EPL was announced, I think I went and played maybe 5 games on Switch, and that was just enough for me to say I don't want to do this for a season.
Sorry, but I'm out. Hit him with the Shark Tank.
It's tough. It's tough, Matt Paz, because you'd be. I mean,
Yeah,
you
playing.
probably also would have been thrown in the odds division. Let's be honest. But
Yep, yep.
Yeah, seeing the game so far, like to say you wouldn't be a lock for top 8 would be BS. Like you're smoking all these other teams. Anyone in Triple P, you're waxing, and then it's really just everyone else. And I think you would draft pretty well too. I think you helped me with my draft, honestly, and some of the mid picks. But so
We won't talk about Horisugi though.
yeah, poor guy. He was just sitting there for like 3 rounds. You're like, you gonna take him? You gonna take him? I'm like, yeah, I'll get him next time. A picture? But oh well. Anywho, let's do the little matchup preview. So basically, pitching rest wise, I think Frisk basically has like 3 of his bottom 4 out. He's got Inukawa out for 2, Mizuno's good, but Ichinose is out for the whole series, and he's got Atsumori in for 1. So we're gonna get his big 3, I would say, for the most part: Sumera, Roddy Bright, and Kamitaka. And
big 4. I still haven't thrown Oda.
I guess.
Oh.
I guess I forgot about him. Goddamn. Well, yeah. So
Whoever has better mood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Between that 4.
Pretty much, you've been trying to go 9 the entire time. Maybe we'll see if we can stop that for a little bit, force you to switch it up. But and then on our side, we have Kiba game 1. We have Yamino and Anishi out, so hopefully Kiba's in a good mood. If not, that's gonna be a rip. And then from there, again, Yamino and Anishi back, and we'll just kind of keep doing what we're doing, just being flexible based on mood, based on situation, and hopefully we score some runs.
I obviously don't expect Frisk to disclose this, but what I'll be looking for is what his pitching strategy will be. Is he going to try to match up aces game 1 with Kiba? Or is he going to try to
I'm not doing
it?
that. I'll answer right now. Like, so here's the, I said this in our chat, but I'll just say for everybody to know. For me, this is a really low pressure game. Like, if I win, cool. If I don't, like, like you're on a path like to hopefully be number 1 pump. And so, to me, there's no L's in this series. So that maybe that's my weird way of taking the pressure off in this situation. But you know, whoever has a better mood. But to be honest, like I'm not even really thinking about matchups or who you're gonna throw, and if that's gonna matter.
I'm trying to not give myself the pressure of 1, because like literally I don't feel like I can drop a game. Like if I think really it'd be like how many games do I think Zumi's gonna lose? It's gonna be like one, I think, and it's just gonna be like a random game where he has an off game. So I still have you, which I'm gonna expect a split because that's just how it goes. And then I have Compass, which again I'm expecting a split. And then we have John's, MC Scales, Sir Bacon Bits, which if I play my best, I think I can win them all, but they are all good enough to steal a game. YG again, probably a split, and BFarrell probably a split. So like, do I think I'll be one? No. Could it be possible where I just go apeshit again and lock in? Maybe, but I don't know if I'm not feeling too confident these days, you know? It's a mental block.
I mean, I think you're not thinking about everyone's pitching situation.
Yeah,
right?
and that's fair too. I think my team is best set up as far as like managing depth throughout the season of being pretty deep and things like that. And then you have like BFarrell too, but like even he's had some trouble early on. But yeah, there's a lot of thin teams out there, so you get through there one guy and it's like, oh boy. What team is Zumi? Honor? Yeah, I wanted to look at Zumi's schedule again, but like at this point, I think it's a wrap. He's got Matt, Big Sid, MC Scales, Haha, Healy, Long, Johns, and Slime. And like, certainly can drop a game here and there, but I think he's easily winning every series the rest of the way. So, and he's drafted a good team, I think too.
I mean, if I think through, there's probably only two pitchers that with the opponent, with the pitcher, like could really shut you down, and it's Myojin with YG, and like if Anthony's on with Aoba, it would be tough.
Yep. Yeah, those are two like tough to score / if you steal run, you're like happy, pretty much. Like you're not gonna go knock them around.
Yeah, everybody else is throwing B tier pitchers at you,
Yeah,
and they're just gonna have to outslug you, which is gonna be
tough ask.
Good luck with your pitching staff.
Yeah. Looking at our stats for the team so far, I don't have everybody's, just have mine in this spreadsheet. But Fukuya has a chance for MVP maybe. He's got like a 1.240 OPS, 429 average, already has 9 hits, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Other hitters that are doing well, actually Yakiman 5, our shortstop. I got a little flack from the friend group when I took Yakiman 5 over Sakuma, but that was after like a long shortstop run. But Yakiman 5 is going crazy, and 500 so far with a couple doubles. And then we have our crazy combo of Naito, Armor, and Nubis, the slow fat mother truckers. 2 homers each, and they're both at like 982, 984 OPS, so pretty good.
Standout guy for me is Shacho.
How's he doing?
6 for 19,
That's
hitting
good.
316. He's got 947 OPS.
Dope.
So obviously not Fukuya, but
Yeah,
definitely my
crazy.
guy right now.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was a little bit sad about, was giving up Yamino in that other trade, because I was going to lose kind of the DH I've been using with the Menace, but Kiba could still hit there too, but both of them are kind of struggling so far overall. But yeah, I think maybe I'll try to do a trade at some point in the season. Like I was trying to get that Naito no armor to play left field, because I still want to upgrade that left field spot defensively. Like I would like more speed out there, but at the same time I don't just want to stick like a random shitty contact low speed person out there. Like if I could get a sick like actual usable everyday player out there, that'd be nuts to fix my lineup a little bit. But then I'd have to sacrifice pitching probably, which I'm pretty deep in, so I feel like I could, but I don't know.
I mean, now's going to be the time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My pass.
Is there a trade deadline at all?
I want to say it's after week 5.
Yeah, I think it was like week 5 or 6 or something. It is in there.
I think honestly the next couple weeks are going to be the best time to trade, because in theory you could trade with somebody who you've already faced to realign your.
That's what happened with Penguin and Monarchs, right?
Yeah, and you basically realign your squad. So like for example, I'm not going to do this, but I'll just give you the like example for me. So, you and I play this week, Pump. it's like in theory I'd be like, great, I'll give you Kanahara, but I'm gonna need one of those pitchers, right? Not saying you do it, but I'm
Yeah.
just kind of giving you the
What
scenario.
sucks with the
And
pitching? Go ahead, you can finish. Then I'll say
yeah,
about
and I was just say, and the reason why to do that is because, it's B Farrell, Compass, YG all back to back to back for me, and it's like I need some, I'm gonna need better staff than I have,
Yeah.
really against the four of you, whereas I can get away with some of the other, with the other teams throwing, Inakawa,
Yeah.
Atsumori, really.
Good luck using those guys versus the people you just said. But what's tough about the trading for pitching too is like because it's the 7 pitcher roster rule, you have to do a swap. So like there has to be at least 2 people trade if you're doing pitchers, or it's just a 1-for-1 swap. So like even if you said you want to do Kanahara for a pitcher, I have to take one of your shitters and then give you another position guy too.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. Maybe we'll revisit that. I'm not gonna lie, sounds pretty good.
We'll see. We'll see how our series goes.
Spoilers.
we might have just sparked something there. All right, I think that's good for this week. Anyone have anything else? There's kind of games that have already been played this week in week 3. I don't think we need to talk about the schedule or anything too much besides tune in Saturday. Maybe we'll get some trash talk going. I think Chris feels confident when he's trash talking me. Gets in my head too much.
Oh, speaking of that, did you want to do that? Did you want
I'm down.
both be on Discord for the game?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Give the people what they want.
Live commentary.
There's no, I mean, you say trash talk, but there's literally no trash talk. It's just reacting to the game.
Yeah, just cursing at myself as I pop up in the infield again. Yep.
Yeah. So, I think it'd be interesting for a new wrinkle for, because I think if you look around the league, like there's a few of us that kind of know what we're doing when we hit the stream button, and so this would be far above expectations of what has happened thus far. So I think it's worth doing as long as it doesn't distract you. It doesn't distract me.
No, I'm fine. Yeah. We've done it before. I've done it with you. I've done it with Splash and Matt Paz. So it's all good. I enjoy it. Oh,
Yep,
Keep a purple move. That's what I'm gonna say is gonna happen right now.
Start praying.
No, it's not about praying. I just have a feeling that you're gonna get hit with the mood bug for our series, because that'd be the one thing you can't control.
I think I'd have to throw blue. If it's blue, he's gotta go.
Or here comes Arima, baby.
Yeah. Well, I could always use him for 1 inning too, hopefully, but we'll see how it goes. It would be if he's not on the mood coming out game 1. Obviously, we'll be talking. It sounds like, but you just know he was purple. Yeah, we've had tough.
Yeah, last time you duped me. Last time you said, I can't remember who it was. You told me somebody was.
Yeah, I told you one time Silver was purple or something, like one game, and then we matched up again, and then the next time it was purple, and I was like, oh damn, it was freaking karma.
That's right. Yeah, that was the Koshian.
And then
I
I won
forgot.
anyway, bitch. Sorry, respectfully, friend.
No, I mean he's tough. I mean
Yeah,
I'm
guy. I forget what it was.
This is definitely not on the agenda, but I'll tell you what. I think when Mainline comes out and August comes around and we do the next Koshian, my head's definitely wrapped around like, okay, what's going to further make this a little bit more fair? Because I think the last one was probably the best it's been, but it's still weirdly a bit too like pitching heavy.
I think you got to go at the Akon raw run. I don't know if
you just have to select your first.
It's got to be your first team, so you can't have ever made a school. So no items, so no outside items allowed at all. And then you get 3 rerolls. So this time you could say OBs and geniuses allowed, but you only get 3. You have to stream your entire run. You have to say I'm starting my run, and then your rerolls have to be on stream, so you don't quit out. You just quit through the game. And just 3 years, no outside items, no buying items in the mainline shop, so you can use the Akon shop with the in-game Akon points, but no mainline shop, no outside items, and no one's gonna make a deep run, because that's how obviously a lot of us make really good runs anyway, is just having a shit ton of coins and buying personality books to get demon dolls and shit like that. So
I don't want to do it on PlayStation this year too.
Oh,
Not lying.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Because
I think
but
that
you
I
have
think this
to,
is the way to convert people. Basically, they'll make the
yeah, too
announcement and
bad.
say,
Yeah, you're coming to PlayStation if you want to join.
Switch has been
Too bad.
canceled.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah.
always have the sim tournaments, so they can always join the sim tournaments on Switch.
I think that's probably the move. It's like, okay, we'll do a sim one on Switch, which, no judgment if anybody doesn't want to do it. But for PvP, we'll do PlayStation. And we'll announce it ahead of time before the game comes out, and then see if we can convert a few people. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if I really think about it, the last two Koshians, there's been like 16 to 18 people. And if that means we only have 10 people on PlayStation, like, we're gonna lose some, but we're gonna pick up others, right? So
yeah, and depending on the numbers, you can switch up the format. So you can go to like a round robin like the first one, or you can just do double elimination because it's really just a very quick run. You're playing,
Totally.
you're gonna lose quick, so it's only a couple hours probably, if that.
yeah, like, if I'm being honest, the thing I hated about the last one is it just took so long for people to get their games in. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
multiple weeks. Like,
And
by the end of it, I was just like, oh my gosh.
early on with like this game, ideally it's the height of the new game and people are hyped up, so like everyone should be more going to play. But
Yeah, let's do it. Book it. PlayStation,
set
next
it up.
Koshian.
Set it up now.
Cancel your Nintendo Switch Online
Yep.
subscriptions.
Yeah, and then Dish can do this
The sim version.
the sim version on Switch.
Yeah. And like honestly, you, if you really wanted to too, you could probably double submit your team. So PlayStation superiority, you could play in the PvP, and then you could say, "Oh yeah, here's my team for the sim."
I'm sure Dish
do
will have
both.
some wild rules.
Well,
So
that's why we're in the PvP. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
See everybody in the next week of the High Council. Peace.